Hello viewers, welcome to Mathathon. Now for today's video, we'll be looking at cosine rule. But before we get into this video, if you have not watched our video on sine rule, I want you to pause this video, go ahead and watch that video, and then come back to finish watching this video. Now for sine rule, if the triangle is not a right angled triangle and there is not a matching pair, when we see two sides and an included angle, we will use the cosine rule. Now for the sine rule, remember we would have used the sine rule if we have two matching sets and a half-filled matching set. Now for us to use the cosine rule, we can use it to find missing angles and missing sides. Now for us to find the missing sides, we'd use a squared. So if we want to find a, the length of a, we would use a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. And remember from our previous video, if angle A right? So if angle A is formed here, it would give a length of common A. If angle B is formed here, it will give a length of common B. And the same for C, if it is formed here, it will give a length of common C. So in this formula, we're finding the length of A. Where you see cos A, it would mean angle A, right? So they are basically related. For side B, it's the same thing. We'd use B squared equal 2A squared plus C squared, which is equal to 2AC cos B. And the same thing applies for finding the length of C. Now let's look at this example. Now, if we want to find the length of BC, so the length of BC would be over here. But if we have the length of A, right, remember, the length of A would give us a common A. So basically, we want to find A, all right? Now, first thing, we need to ask ourselves, is this a right angled triangle? No, it is not. Do we have a matching pair? Now, if we are to have a matching pair, it simply means that we would have the angle for B and the length for B. We'd have the angle for A and the length for A. We'd have the angle for C and the length for C. Thus far, I'm not seeing a matching pair, so we don't have any. But however, we have two sides and we have an included angle, so we will go ahead and use cosine rule. And remember, we are finding the length of A. So let's find BC, or let's say common A. Now to find that, we would write A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos, remember the cos would be A. Now we don't have A squared, so we'll put back A squared. We have B squared, and in this case, B is 7, so we'll have 7 squared plus C, which is 3 squared, minus 2 times 7 times 3, and the cos of 35 degrees. Now, for us to simplify this, 7 squared will give us 49 plus 3 squared will give us 9. And if we are to solve this all together, we'll get 26. And remember, you have to solve this using a calculator. It's easier to use a calculator. So we'll multiply this, then multiply it by the cos of 35. And we'll get 0.99. And A squared will be equal to, when we find all of this together, we'll end up with 31.01. Now we want A and not A squared, right? Now I want to know, how would I get rid of the squared? Very good. So we'll have to find the square root. So what I'll do, whatever I do to one side, I will do to the other side. So if I find the square root of over here, I have to do the same thing over here. So now I'm left with a. Now the square root of 31.01 would give me 5.6. So therefore a is 5.6 centimeters. Now, this is a second example. Now, we're asking ourselves, is this a right angled triangle? No, it is not. Do we have a matching pair? So I have the length for B, but I don't have the angle for B. I have the length for A, but I don't have the angle for A. And I have the angle for C, but I don't have the length for C. So I have no matching pairs. So we have two sides and an included angle. So we're going to use the cosine rule. Now we want to find AB, which is the same thing as common C, right? Because the angle C would form a length of common C. So we're going to write our formula. So we'll have C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, which is minus 2AB, and it will be cos C. Alright, so we're going to put in what we know. We don't know what is C, so we're going to put back our C squared, and it is equal to, A is equal to, so it will be 4 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 4 times 9, and our cos here, the included angle that we have here, is 27 degrees. Now, we're to simplify this, and 4 times 4 will give me 16. 9 times 9 will give me 81. And if I'm to solve all of this, multiply all of this, I will end up with 64.15. Now I'm going again. So I'll have C squared is equal to, if I'm to add this, subtract this from it, I will end up with 32.85. Now I don't want C squared, I want just C. So to get rid of the square, I will have to find the square root of both sides, and I will end up with C being equal to 5.7 centimeters. Alright, so we have explored finding the length using the cosine rule. Now we're on to finding the angle. So an angle in a triangle can be found if you know the size of all of the sides. So when in this case, we're going to use a different formula. So we'll find the subject of the formula, and it is given by cos B is equal to A squared plus C squared minus B squared all over 2AC. Now let's try solving some examples. So we need to find, we have all the sides here with the measurements of each, but we want to find the size of angle B. So we want to find here. Alright, now remember the formula is cos B is equal to A squared plus C squared minus B squared all over 2AC. Now we're going to fill in what we know. We actually don't know what is cos B. So our A in this case would be 4 squared, our C is 5 squared, and our B is 7 squared, all over 2 times 4 times 5. Now we're simplifying and we're putting back our cos B. Now 4 times 4 will give me 16, 5 times 5 will give me 25, 7 times 7 will give me 49, all over 4 times 2 will give me 8, and 8 times 5 will give me 40. Now if I'm to simplify a little more, I will end up with negative 8 over 40. Alright, and this can also be written as 0.2. So let's take it over here. right? So let's say we have cos B is equal to 0.2. But I want B, I don't want cos B, I want B. So to get B by itself, we'll have to find the cos inverse of 0.2. And this will give us 101.5 degrees. So therefore, this is the measurement for angle B. Let's try another one. Now, the first thing we have to ask ourselves is this a right angle triangle? No, it is not. Do we have a matching pair? No, we do not. We do have all the sides, and we want to know an angle so we can use the cosine rule. Now, we want to find angle R, so therefore here it is, right? Now, remember, we're finding cos R. So although we use A, B, C in the last example, if we use different letters, it should give us the same answer once we use the correct formula. So we want P squared plus Q squared minus common R squared all over 2P cubed. So cos R, so remember we're still trying to find the angle, is equal to 4.2 squared for the length of P plus Q, which is 6.9 squared, minus the length of R, which is 4 squared, all over 2 times 4.2 times 6.9. And we're simplifying. And we're writing back our cos R. Now, when we square 4.2, we will get 17.64 plus 6.9 squared would give me 47.61 minus 16. And when we multiply 2 times 4.2 times 6.9, we'll end up with 57.96. Now, if we're to simplify this, we'll end up with cos R being equal to 49.25 all over 57.96. Now we're going to take it up. Sorry about that. So we're taking it up to this side to continue our question. So we still don't have R, so we're not finished, right? So when we divide 57.96 into 49.25, we end up with 0.849. And remember, we only want R, so we're going to find the cos inverse of 0.849. And this will be equal to 31.8 degrees. So therefore, this is the measurement for R, 31.8 degrees. So remember, for sine rule, we need matching sets. For cosine rule, to find the missing sides, all we need is two lengths, and an included angle. And if we want to find the angle, we just need all three sides measurement. Now, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.